Hi everyone, J-Boi here, although I'd forgive you for not recognising me without my signature hair. I don't really have a video for today. I've had a bit of a strange week. I've started a new job, and I think under normal circumstances, the job will not impact my ability to get videos out. Maybe sometimes, but we'll figure it out. I'll adjust to the routine a little bit more, but it just means that at the start, when I'm figuring it all out at the very start, I'm not able to release the video I was planning on releasing today, but that will just be for next week, so that's something to look forward to. In the meantime, I would recommend checking out my Oscars video, because the Oscars are very soon, or by the time you're watching this, they might have happened. And my Oscars video is very good. I talk about all 10 Best Picture nominees. You should watch it, because I know that based on the numbers, not many of you have. But yeah, no, I had real fun with that one, and I've appreciated the feedback from those who have watched it. But yeah, I'm just going to fill the time today. I've got some questions that people have sent me, and I'm going to try and answer them. And I'm going to be doing that while playing Fortnite. Yay! Okay, welcome to the Fortnite Let's Play Q&A section of the video. Yeah, I've got some questions that people have sent me, and I, for some reason, thought it was a good idea to play Fortnite while I answer them. I don't know where I got the idea that I was capable of focusing on two things at once, but we're going to give it a go. Okay, the first question is, which was more nonsensical, Rey Kenobi or Rey being one of Luke's students he ditched on Jakku? I find questions like this very hard, because I think once I've seen The Last Jedi and that answer, the answer that film gave, which is Rey was nobody, to me that's the most interesting thing that they could have done, so I've seen the perfect version of it. It's hard to humour any other idea, or put myself in the mind of someone who doesn't know that as an option. I think Rey being a Kenobi, Rey being an anyone, Rey being Luke's child, Han's child, Palpatine's child, anything like that, to me it always felt so like fan-oriented, so like interested in like appeasing like fan speculation, like rather than it having any kind of interesting impact on the story or on the character. Okay, I don't know if that was even a real player. Like it, rather than it having any kind of bearing on the stakes or what's actually happening to these people in the story, it's all about just, oh, which last name can we give her? Which man can we associate her with to explain her powers? Yeah, not... So in that sense, like Luke, her being one of Luke's students, at least that would have some bearing on their relationship. There'll be a reveal there that means something to the people involved, and not just, oh, there's a grind rail. Oh, who knew? Yeah, so that's my answer to that question. I hope I gave a good one. This question is, why are you such a legend? That's a real question that I can't prove I didn't write it myself, but you're going to have to trust me. What's the next one? Who is Skongo? Now, funny you asked me this today, because I just got a Facebook memory saying that 4 years ago I made a video saying the origin of Skongo, you know, explaining who this character was and why they were invented. And yeah, it's up on this channel. It's the first video uploaded to this channel. It's not really my first video, because it's not a video, it's a... Oh, yeah, I forgot about these things. Yeah, it's like a PowerPoint explainer that I made for Facebook that I then just put here, and it ended up getting quite a few views. Okay, this question. Who should have been the villain of The Rise of Skywalker? Anyone could have been, right? Like... anyone but Palpatine. No. I think, like, I've always thought that, like, you pair Hux with the Knights of Ren, and you've got an evil First Order, like, political figure. You've got the dark side-ness of the Knights of Ren. You give someone for, like, Kylo to fight, someone for Rey to fight, someone with, like Hux and Kylo, they have beef, and I think seeing them... That fallout that was kind of teased, seeing that come to the forefront. Okay. Seeing that come to the forefront would have been really interesting. But, you know, I think, having seen Ben Solo's Redemption, that's really interesting to me, and that's more interesting. Can I open this? Is this... How does this work? Hello? Yeah, having seen Ben Solo be redeemed... Oh god, that's embarrassing. Having seen Ben Solo get redeemed, I can't imagine any version where he doesn't. And enjoying any version where he doesn't. So I would not want Kylo Ren to be the big baddie, but he could have been, and it probably would have been more coherent than, you know, than what we ended up getting. Yeah, that's kind of what the Duel of the Fates script is kind of doing, is putting Kylo in that position and putting Hux in the kind of political position. So in that sense, that was stronger, that was more coherent. But again, I want Ben Solo to be redeemed. I don't think it's an unreasonable thing to see all that conflict and think, wow, what if that had a nice ending? And that doesn't necessarily mean he goes to the good side and then dies immediately afterwards. But yeah, anyone could have been the villain. There were so many options. I don't think people say that, you know, you kill Snoke, you know, you get rid of this Palpatine stand-in, you need to bring someone in as a replacement. It's like, oh, do you? You've got all these characters on the playing board. That's what it's called, a playing board, that you could be working with, and no, you have to return to Return of the Jedi. Okay. Dune 2 video tonight. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't have a Dune video. Probably I won't release a Dune video. I really love Dune. I've seen it twice. I will see it again. I think I don't have anything to say about it. I really liked it, but everyone really liked it. There's no point I can make that is any way insightful here. There's no, you know, interesting take or, oh, I've explained why people are responding so much to Dune. I'm so glad that people are responding well to Dune, but there's nothing I can add to this conversation. If I'd got in early and gone, hey, by the way, guys, this movie's really good, then that would have been great. But, you know, the film came out a bit later in the UK anyway, and I didn't even see it the day it came out, so just... I kind of missed the boat on that one. But yeah, Dune's brilliant if you want my short consensus. Just come out that Christopher Walken and Jodie Foster auditioned for Han and Leia. I'm struggling to see it. What about you? Yeah, I think that's one where, like, if they had got the part, then Han and Leia would have been very different. I think we can't imagine Christopher Walken as Han because the Han we have so ingrained in our heads is so intrinsically attached to Harrison Ford that, like, if you didn't have Harrison Ford, Han wouldn't have been Han as we know him. So he would have been someone else, and that someone could have been better, he could have been worse. He obviously would have been worse because Harrison Ford is just outstanding in those movies. The same goes for Leia. I think probably the characterization would have been quite similar. I can maybe see Jodie Foster doing it, but yeah, I think it's always... I guess that links back to what I've said about, you know, imagining a different version of the Rey reveal or a different version of Ben Solo's redemption. It's like, once you've seen how things are meant to be, it's hard to change that in your brain. But yeah, good question though. What do you think about Colin Trevorrow's version of Episode 9? Could it have worked at all? Yeah, it could have worked. I think I would have liked to have seen a lot about it change, but it was a script, you know, and it was going through the drafts. The info we have is a selection of kind of first and second drafts, and that's not the film. That's not what the film would have been, and the film could have been better, it could have been worse, and I'm about to die. I'll pause the question until I get back into a new game. Okay, we're back. Yeah, Duel of the Fates. The thing about it is, there are areas and elements where it's doing something better than The Rise of Skywalker did, and it's continuing the threads of The Last Jedi in a way that's kind of interesting, or, you know, I think building off the foundation of The Last Jedi better than The Rise of Skywalker did. I think what it does with Finn, in some drafts at least, is interesting. I think what it does with, you know, Rose is a core part of the team in a way that you would imagine she would be following The Last Jedi, and she very much isn't in The Rise of Skywalker. Hux, Coruscant, the Stormtrooper Rebellion, hints that we're going there. It's moving towards some interesting directions, in some cases, and in others it's moving as far away from interesting directions as it can possibly go. I think what it does with Poe and Rey romantically being paired, and with Ghost Luke and Kylo Ren, not interesting, not good. Rise of Skywalker, as much as I do not like it, I think provides a better answer to a lot of those threads. I mean, it doesn't, in a lot of cases, it doesn't provide a very good one at all, but I don't know, I think you need to redeem Ben Solo more meaningfully than both of those movies. I think, yeah, again, that's something because I've seen it done. You kind of need a combination of the two, but obviously they didn't have the hindsight that we have to make that kind of decision. But yeah, I don't think either writer really gets to the heart of what a conclusion of this trilogy needs to be. I think, yeah, I don't know, it needed to be a conclusion to the saga, you know. I feel like that's pressure it put on itself, maybe as part of marketing, that, oh, by the way, this is the Skywalker saga and it's over. But I don't think Duel of the Fates is as interested in doing that, really. Whereas Rise of Skywalker is, but kind of not in a way that I think has any real bearing on the themes, and don't need anything there. Okay. What's the next question? What's your first memories of Star Wars and Doctor Who? It's a good question. My first memories of Star Wars, I really remember vividly, or at least remember the memory of them. Hey guys. I remember seeing a poster for Revenge of the Sith when I was like 3 or 4 years old, and it being Anakin and Obi-Wan, their lightsabers crossing, fire everywhere, and just thinking it was the coolest thing in the world, and telling my mum I thought it looked cool. And my mum, who was a Star Wars fan, going, okay, this is now my excuse to indoctrinate him. So, and I think as soon as I'd like seen any Star Wars, it was my thing. It was dominating my entire brain and my life for the next 20 years. Yeah, I think Star Wars was very much love at first sight. And yeah, I'm grateful I saw that poster, but I'm fairly certain I would have found my way to... What's this? Challenge. Oh, I see. I think I would have found my way to Star Wars no matter what. I hoped so, at least. I'm editing and realised I didn't actually give an answer to the Doctor Who side of that question, so I will very quickly. When I was young, like just a little bit older than when Star Wars was first on my radar, I heard people talking about the Weeping Angels and the episode Blink that had just happened. And this was when I was at school and they were talking about it on the playground, and I was terrified of the sound of it. I thought, that sounds like a horror movie. I've heard that there's, you know, the grown-ups watch things just to scare them, and I thought Doctor Who was a show for grown-ups that very much wasn't for me and was something that I would struggle with. I wasn't scared of much as a child, but I was scared of being scared, so I avoided things I thought would scare me, and Doctor Who was one of them. So yeah, all through the David Tennant era, all through everything, I was like, nah, this isn't for me. I ended up watching the Sarah Jane Adventures, starting that before knowing its connection to Doctor Who, figuring out its connection to Doctor Who as I watched, obviously, but Sarah Jane became my thing. Sarah Jane became my version of childhood Doctor Who. You know, Sarah and those characters were my introduction to that world. And, you know, I have such an attachment to Sarah Jane as a consequence. I think that was such a great introduction into the show. And it was only when she died and that show ended that I thought, maybe I'll check Doctor Who out. I think I had a Sarah Jane-shaped hole in my heart that I plugged with Asylum of the Daleks, which I'll let you be the judge of how effective that was. But at the same time, it was good enough that I kept watching, and then I caught up with New Who, and then I eventually went and watched Classic Who. So, yeah, first real kind of hearing of the show memories was of Blink, but first actual sitting down and watching something was of Sarah Jane. Maybe what were the episodes I liked? I mean, I've said on the channel how much the Trickster episodes impacted me. I remember the Mad Woman in the Attic episode with Eve. That was quite a core early memory of that show. But yeah, lots of stuff there really stuck with me. What do you think the success of Dune Part 2 means for the future of Hollywood? It's a good question. I like to hope it'll be something positive, and it'll be something, they'll see that we respond to sincerity and to a vision, and that doing something on a scale like this can be rewarded financially, and you don't need to sell out and compromise and do all this kind of stuff. I don't know. What do I think it means for the future? I'd like them to take all the right lessons, but it may just be that we get movies set in the desert for the next 10 years. I don't know. I think you have to look at things like Avatar, Dune, Top Gun, Oppenheimer to an extent, maybe not, but just look at these blockbusters and see why are they resonating with audiences. It's because of the hearts and the kind of... They're taking themselves seriously. I think that's, Dune has really shown that we are responding to that now, that it's not laughing at itself. It's not... and it doesn't mean it's humorless as well. It's not going, hey guys, we know the thing you're watching is ridiculous and we're laughing at it with you. It's going, no, we're going to take this story as, as seriously as it deserves, while also having whatever fun we need. And I think, it's no coincidence that's the linking factor between those things. Maybe Barbie, to an extent, is part of that. I struggle to see exactly where Barbie fits in the there's not really any film like it on that level, but it's done so well. It's such an interesting, bizarre product. But yeah, I like to hope that it gives David Zaslav a kick up the arse and an understanding that we like it when they make things, and we like it when they commit to things, and they allow something to grow organically from part 1 to part 2. And I don't know, John Wick's another one, as far as blockbusters we're all really responding to that are incredibly earnest. John Wick is a good one there, and that's a series that has grown from part 1 to part 4. Yeah, I think it's maybe too early to tell with Dune, but I hope it's a good takeaway. I hope it's not just, wow, this proves that audiences like Dune. I mean, it does, but that's really the only car. Oh, full fuel though. I just can't crash it. Okay, what's the next question? Moffat or RCD? The answer is Moffat. Sorry, this Fortnite game has been really boring because I've been trying not to die, but I've not exactly been running away from fights either. Oh look, there's a fight. Okay, the answer's Moffat. Okay, if I die in this fight, then that's the end of the Q&A. I was questioning my decision to dive in there. Okay, that's that person. That's not where I thought the other person was. Okay. Suddenly, the tables have turned. Oh. Where is she? Yeah, I think Moffat is the better writer. I think he's the better showrunner. I think I miss his fingerprints on the stories that we get, and I hope that he is brought back for the second Russell T Davies era. RCD, I like his era. I'm enjoying his second era. I think he's written some great stories. I don't think he's written half as many great stories as Moffat. I think you can maybe count on one hand his truly great scripts. Maybe you can count it on 1.5 hands, but yeah, I don't think there's much question on that front. Do I have any other questions? I don't. Okay. Let's just keep playing. There's a guy there. I could make him pass away if I want. I think I will. Don't see me, don't see me, don't see me, don't see me. I do like this lightning bolt. Die of lightning! Look at that. Where's he gone? Where have you gone, little fella? Hello? Hello? What else do you want to talk about then? New Fortnite season looks pretty cool so far. I'm kind of sinking my teeth into it a little bit, understanding it a bit more. Not dreadful. Always good to aim for not dreadful. What have you got? I've committed now to breaking the statue. I should have opened the chest, but I quite like just breaking it and seeing everything. I'll take it. I'll take it. See, I'm not sure now whether to just end the discussion and leave this Fortnite game, you know, leave it a mystery to you guys how I actually ended up doing. Where's that shooter? Hello. It's Ghost Rider. He rides ghosts. Thanks. Okay, June. Yeah, I've seen June twice now. I think it is just fantastic, isn't it? I think really, when it comes down to it, that's what you need in life. That's what you need in this world. Just a movie that you can watch and go, yeah, good stuff. Oh no, don't have copyright music on. Yeah, is anything else even like coming out soon? Oh, Ghostbusters. You'll be hearing about that on the channel. I mean, that's the thing. It's so much easier to be negative than positive. It's so much easier to feel you have something to say when you have a negative opinion on something. Like, Madam Web, I was compelled to go, what the fuck have I just watched? Whereas June, I was not compelled to shout from the rooftops how good it was. Maybe because I'd already seen from the rooftops other people shouting about it and I didn't feel the need to join them. But I don't know. I find it a lot harder to be positive. And I'm getting better at it. Like, I think the Oscars video was a good exercise in that, was talking about things I actually liked and finding things to say about how I liked it. Because, I don't know, I think... That was that. Okay. Yeah, I think negativity has like a kind of built-in script, right? It kind of, if you're angry about something, explain why, you know, argue against the film. Whereas arguing for the film is like, well, yeah, the stuff that the film is doing, it's doing well. It's like there's not much to be, you know, automatically gained from it unless you just work through. Did someone just shoot me, or was that? Okay, let's see. Oh, a baddie. That's not letting me scope. I was going to do a real gamer mode there. What have you got for me, baddie? You going to put an end to my video? You going to run away? Yeah, he's scared. He's bloody scared. That's what it is. He's rifting, that's what he's doing. Uh-oh. That didn't hit any of them. Hey man, what gives? Ah, he knows exactly where I am and there's no escape. Goodbye! Thanks for watching.